Hey guys, what is up and welcome to another episode of Did You Know? This one is going to be featuring minions because like the previous episode, you guys asked for it and I'm once again here to deliver. Please do not forget to throw in a like if you enjoyed this episode and to check out the previous episodes of the Did You Know series as well. But without any further ado, let us jump straight into this episode. Minions are one of the main aspects of any MOBA game, such as League of Legends or Dota, and we use them to farm, we use them to push, we use them to obstruct skill shots, but there's so much more info to know about them and I hope to cover that with you guys here on this episode. Did you know that minions spawn every 30 seconds and they begin spawning at 1 minute and 30 seconds into a game? Every 3 minutes, the minion wave will get slightly stronger, with each minion getting a small boost to all of its stats. Minions deal 50% increased damage to turrets, but they deal 15% reduced damage to champions. Here's some lore taken from the Journal of Justice. Quote, "Minions are constructs of the League, used specifically for battle arenas. They aren't sentient. In the earliest days of the League, during their extensive testing phase, there was a rumor that they were using sentient beings as minions. They even supposedly used necromancy to summon skeletal minions to fight as the minions of today do. Such rumors are generally thought to be unsubstantiated." So let's talk about each minion specifically, the first one being the melee minion. Did you know that the melee minions have more HP and they attack faster than the caster minions while also offering more gold when killed? Let's take a look at a small image I pulled off of LolWiki giving more detail about the melee minion. So you can see that it initially gives 20 gold and it increases by 0.5 every 3 minutes, and it also gives 58.88 experience, which increases every 3 minutes by 4.6. So I'm not going to go through every single detail here, but you can definitely pause the video and read it for yourselves. But the main thing to note and remember is its health, its attack damage, and attack speed. The next minion we all know and love is the caster minion, and the caster minion tends to deal more damage than the melee minion, but it offers less gold when killed. Let's take a closer look at the stats of the caster minion as well. So the main thing to see here when comparing it to the melee minion is of course that it offers less gold, less experience, it has a lot less health and a lot less attack speed, but the attack damage is almost doubled. The next minion I want to talk to you guys about is the siege minion, and did you know that the siege minion does take 70% damage from the turrets, aka 30% reduction? Also, a siege minion spawns every 3 waves, and 35 minutes into a game, 2 will start spawning rather than 1. Let's take a closer look at its stats as well. So judging from the numbers we see here, the gold and experience offered from the siege minion is much higher than the caster and the melee minion. The attack speed on the siege minion is in between a melee minion and a caster minion. However, the HP and the attack damage is substantially higher. Also at the bottom you can see that after 35 minutes it will respawn much quicker. The next minion we will talk about is the super minion, which are spawned in place of siege minions after an inhibitor is down every wave. They also take 70% damage from turrets, aka 30% reduction, and if all 3 inhibitors are down, 2 are spawned per wave rather than the standard 1. And of course they are much stronger than any of the minions we have mentioned thus far. Comparing this one to the siege minion, it offers less gold, which is a good thing, more experience, which is obviously a bad thing. However, the HP that it has and the damage that it deals is much higher. Also, the attack speed is a lot lower, but that makes up with the massive attack damage it has. If you look back, you will notice that all the minions have something in common, and that's that they have 0 critical strike chance. Did you know that there's actually one minion that's cancelled? This minion happens to be the Siege Rider minion. They were summoned using the Promote Summoner spell on Summoner's Rift back in the day on a nearby minion, but they were removed due to being imbalanced when people can spam waves with it. And finally, the last minion we will talk about is the Anti-Turret Cannon. They were added for the minion initially, but then added to Summoner's Rift as well, and are summoned using the Banner of Command on a siege minion. Taking a look at its stats pulled off from LolWiki as well, you can see that the gold given is also quite small. The HP of this minion seems to be exactly the same as the siege minion. The damage is also the same, but the attack speed is much faster. It also has a lot more armor, hence the name Anti-Turret Cannon. But other than that, it's very similar to a siege minion. Have you guys ever wondered how minions decide who they're gonna attack, who they're gonna switch targets with, why they switch targets randomly and all that stuff? Well, minions listen to something called Call for Help, which is generated whenever an ally unit is under attack, and if the priority of the Call for Help is higher than the current target of the minion, it will change focus. Here are the priorities in order. So the action that will make the minions switch almost indefinitely will be an enemy champion attacking an allied champion, and the minions will focus the enemy champion. The second one being if an enemy minion attacks an allied champion. Third, enemy minion attacks an allied minion. Enemy turret attacks an allied minion. Enemy champion attacks an allied minion, or the closest enemy minion, or finally the closest enemy champion. Every few seconds, the minions reevaluate their target and determine if there's something that's more priority. And this is what you can use to your advantage as a champion. For example, if a champion fights another one near minions, but then breaks off the fight in a few seconds, the minions, when they reevaluate what the priority is, will actually switch targets and possibly back to the minions. This is also how sometimes minions seem to just follow a champion through the jungle and the champion can keep picking up the aggro on that minion. Also, if you let minions fight each other without interruption for a whole game, one side will actually eventually win, and it's completely random and based off of which minions target better. While I was doing some research to find more lore about minions and what exactly they are, I saw some interesting speculations by people on the League of Legends forums. They said that they read this in some sort of lore book or some lore area, but they speculate that the minions are actually conjurations that are being controlled by apprentice or weak new summoners. And obviously the summoners seem to be practicing their skills with the minions before they start controlling a champion. I'm not sure if this is real or not because I couldn't find official words from anywhere other than these speculations, but it is something interesting to consider. Alright guys, that does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring minions. There's actually quite a bit of information here that I was able to gather up and it's all pretty interesting, but I hope you guys enjoyed this and please throw in a like if you did enjoy it. Also, don't forget to throw in a comment down below to suggest what you want to see next in the next episode. As you can see, this one was suggested by a viewer in the previous episode to do one about minions. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to throw in a like and share with your friends, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.